Hey guys, so we are here to learn about step functions. Okay, so what a step function is, it's literally going to look like a floating staircase. So it's going to look like a set of stairs. Now, the way we denote a step function, it's with the bracket with a double bar on it. Okay, so we get that. So that is what a step function looks like. Now, what does a step function do, or these little things? What it does is tells us to round down. Another word for it is truncate. Which means you literally chop off any decimal. So here's a decimal, you ignore it, and this becomes a 5. Okay. So even though that 2, I wouldn't round up normally, we still round it back down to a 5. So here, again, either A, ignore the decimal and round it down to a 5, or just remember always round down. So can you imagine if your grade was an 89.9 and we decided to do this? I think a lot of people would be very upset with me. Okay, so again, throw those decimals away and we get a 5. Now, things are a little bit different when we start dealing with negatives. Remember, we're going to round down. So would you agree this number is between -1 and -2 on the chart? And 1.2 is somewhere right here. So we need to round down. Rounding down means -2. Okay, this one gets a lot of people, and I'll be honest, it does get me as well. So we have a -4 and a -5. I'm trying to make sure, because -4.99 is about right here. Okay, so again, we got to go with the smaller. This is the smaller. So just so negatives, like everything else in our life, negatives tend to be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so we have to be careful with that. Now, how do we graph these? Okay, so we got to be careful. So we're not going to just choose a number here, because remember, we have to have these floating stairs. So let's go -1 and 0. So let's just remind ourselves. Let's put it over here. So this is less than or equal to. And this one is going to be greater than. Or equal to. Okay, these are going to provide us with closed dots. Okay, so they're not going to, they literally look like a normal dot. These would be open. So open dots would just be less than. Now, if you're struggling to remember what less than and greater than looks like, my hint, this looks like a lazy L. So less than. And then here we have greater than. Okay. So, okay, I hope this kind of sort of helps. So here we go. So we got -1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. So yes, we are going to have repeats, but I'm going to tell you after we get the graph going what that really does mean. Now, every number between -1 and 0, remember, they round down. So what's smaller? negative 1. 0, 1, and 2. So essentially, we're going to use those numbers to plug into our equation. So here's our equation. So it'll be negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Okay. Now we're going to do 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay. Now we're going to have to make 2 dots out of this. I'll make this a little bit bigger. So we used 1 point here. We have one x value at negative 1. What's our second x value? It's 0. Okay. Notice no matter what, we have the same y value. So we're going to say 0 and 0. Okay. Let's try it here. So we have 0 as an x, and we have a 1 as an x. What's my y value? 1. So 1 and 1. Okay. Now, we have to be able to still have a function. So remember, I'm going to go back up here. We need a closed dot and an open dot. So, here we go. Notice this bar is closest to negative 1. So this is a closed dot. So at 0, when the x is 0, for this one, notice no bar, so open. Notice here at this 0, we have closed, and then we have open. Okay. If you would like, hit pause if you want to try the next one and see if you can get those 2 ordered pairs. If not, I'm going to keep going. So my 2x values are 1 and a 2. My y value is 2. 2, 2. Now I'm just going to put a C for close and an O for open. Okay. We have 2x values, a 2 and a 3. And my y values are 3. And close and open. Now I realized just a second ago after I made the handout, this number has nothing to do with the last digit here. So I am very sorry about that. Complete coincidence on this problem. Okay. So now let's graph these. So negative 1 and 0, closed dot. And then we have 0, 0, open dot. And then what you're going to do is draw a line. So it's almost like you're going to have mini dumbbells, I think they're called. Okay. 0, 1 is closed. Now, this is why we have open and close. In order for this to be a function, 1 has to be closed, 1 has to be open. Okay. And then 1, 1, open. You kind of see the floating stairs coming. 1, 2, closed. And my advice is write everything out because it is a pain in the tush to go back. I never want to go back and figure out what I was thinking. That could be dangerous. And then we're going to do it one last time here. 2, 3, and 3, 3. Okay, and you should have something literally looking like floating dumbbells and a staircase all at the same time. Okay, not too bad, right? Okay, let's try one more. I'm just going to use the same numbers that I just used. So negative 1 and 0 and 1 and 2. And if you're asking yourself, do we always have to use the numbers next to each other? The answer is yes. So I can't do a 1 to a 3. I always have to just literally do 1 apart. Because remember, we're always just rounding down. And 3. Okay. So remember, if you need to, and feel free circle this so you know these are the numbers we're going to use. So negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1. So that's negative 3. Oh, did I just say that? Oops-a-daisies. So negative, oh no. Okay, so I'm coming back for summer break. So how about this? Let's try this again. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 plus 1 is 3. So this gives us negative 1 and a 0 and a 3. And remember, closed, open. So negative 2 times 0 plus 1. I can do this one. So that's 0 plus 1 is 1. So my 2x values, 1, 1, closed, open. Okay, negative 2 times 1 plus 1. So that's negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So 1 and 2, and we get a negative 1 and a negative 1. Closed, open. And then we're going to plug a 2 in. So negative 2 times a 2 plus a 1. So negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So we get a 2 and a 3. Negative 3, negative 3, 0. Closed and open. Please, again, please don't do anything in your head. Please listen to me. Write everything down. We don't want to ever have to go back and figure out what were we doing or thinking. Okay? So now let's go and graph everything. So negative 1 and positive 3. 0, 3. Open. Okay. Please make sure you can tell. I can tell if something's open or closed. 0, 1, 1, 1. 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 2, negative 3, and 3, 3. Okay. And there you go. Okay, I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please let me know. See you later, guys.